made it in. Somehow I chose the wrong queue, but I haven't shown my outfit. We just got in at about 6:30. Yeah. Well done. As soon as we got in, we tried to get party exclusive food, but we were too early, so we went to go and see what was going on in Adventureland. If you can't tell, I'm dressed as Red from Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So at 7 we went to meet Jack Sparrow and then went straight to meet Goofy as he was also dressed as a pirate. After some trick-or-treating, we went to get this delicious pumpkin cheesecake from Starbucks. Cheesecake!
We don't have nightmares. We call nightmares. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You're joking me. You gotta be. No matter how she tries. She's ancient. She's hopeless. You're finished. You haven't got a plan. 'Cause I'm in the boogie boogie. And you ain't going nowhere.
So we were super lucky and managed to get a relatively good spot for the parade, considering we were still walking around trying to find a spot when everything had been roped off.
Make sure you get lots of treats.
It's really not so scary.
It's good to be back and laugh about the very scary fun that we had.
Being dressed up as a pirate has been super fun because there's obviously loads of pirate theming and you kind of get extra attention from the cast members and it makes the night super special.
So we've done the shows, the parades, the fireworks. We're now going to try and do some rides. We've got a lot of sweets, but we'll stack those up at the end as well. I would like to see the stage show again, probably the midnight one, closer, because we didn't really have a very good spot. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world because we have seen it. So.
Also, guys, I didn't realise Jack Skellington was on the stage. I missed it.
We're hoping we can get on Tron. Our group was called like literally as soon as we got in, which we weren't bothered about doing because it was still light. Like we only care about trying to do it in the dark. But yeah, that was like 2 hours ago. So hopefully they'll still let us on. I don't know. So we did Tron in the dark. It was really good. It is already 10 to 11. It like the night really gets away from you, and we want to get as much sweets as possible. But I also want to maybe do some rides. We'll see.
I see you back there in the corner dancing. I like them rules. Yeah. Yeah. Just that trick.
Where be Captain Jack Sparrow and the treasure that built right?
I hear 10. A hen for a 10.
10. I'll give you 20.
Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll make our leave and go.
We have been super lucky with the weather, so it really stormed today, rained loads, and then it predicted storms all evening, but thankfully we haven't had that at all, and also the storm has really cooled it down, so it really hasn't been that hot compared to how hot it has been, luckily, seeing as I'm wearing a million layers.
I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play.
And this day.
Fates high.
Come and inspire with devious plots, a desire for birds all covered in spots. Impress us, O pirate, from a faraway land. Strike fear in our hearts with a hook or a hand.
It's complete.
You did it!
It's time to go. I
Fantastic with casting.
Oh, it's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back, and hello, friends. My name's Winifred. What's yours? I want to tell you. Together.
So have you seen I managed to get a good spot, and I've left just before the end because I just wanted to get some like better shots of them. It's so good. We're gonna head now. It's like 12:15, I think. Very tired.
So the fireworks are only on once, so if you don't care about missing the fireworks, then you can probably guarantee that you can get a lot of rides, maybe character meets, stuff like that done, because nearly everyone else is watching the fireworks. Straight on the back.
So I thought before I go to bed I'd film a bit about my outfit, even though now I'm a mess. But the top is vintage that I wear to work. The skirt is Princess Polly, which I just wear normally. The second skirt that I laid on top was a Primark white skirt that I used to wear, and then when I bought the Princess Polly one, I dyed this one because they're basically the same. The Princess Polly one I just prefer a bit. Then I got this on Vinted, which was cider originally, I think. And then this I got on some like random online website. Necklaces, Amazon, hat was my friend's. So that was a really weird bird noise. So I actually only had to buy this top and this. Oh my god, that bird noise that is so horrifying. But yeah, I barely had to buy anything. But when I didn't actually show it in the video, but I met 2 other Reds and they had like the proper outfits. They must be actual costumes because theirs was like perfect, but they could still tell that I was Red. So, but yeah, we're back now. Bedtime. It is 1:15. So we've got rainbow Skittles, Starburst, milk chocolate M&Ms, Three Musketeers. We don't know what they are. Peanut M&Ms, brownie M&Ms. Original Skittles, Snickers, cold brew coffee M&Ms, little wild berry, Skittles gummies and original ones which is in green, peanut butter M&Ms, Twix, Milky Way and caramel Milky Way. I thought I would do a quick review of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in this video because I don't really explain much at all in the video because obviously was trying to get everything done and wasn't really thinking about creating content. I just wanted to enjoy the party and get as much done as possible. So we got our tickets on attractiontickets.com. They had a discount, so we got them for about £95. Overall opinions, I think it was worth it for me personally, because, well, I've never been before. The fireworks were the best fireworks show I've ever seen, and I've been going to Disney for since I was 2. And they were just so cool, so amazing. I didn't get to meet really any special characters. I met Goofy dressed up and I met Jack Sparrow. That was just because they were both dressed as pirates and I was dressed as Red from Pirates. I would have loved to meet Jack and Sally or the dwarfs, but I didn't even look at the times because I had heard from the earlier parties that the wait times were about 4 hours, which obviously I'm not paying £95 just to meet one character, even though it would be very cool. But I knew that going in, I didn't expect to meet them. We got loads and loads of treats, as you saw. That we definitely got our money's worth of. Very happy to get on Tron in the dark because my parents obviously didn't manage to do Tron in the dark because they weren't at Mickey's. They went to watch Cirque du Soleil. So me and Hudson were lucky enough to get that because we didn't have another chance. Even though we were there for 3 weeks, we didn't have another chance to do it in the dark because we didn't want to pay for a lightning lane, and that kind of seems like the only way you can make sure you get it in the dark anyway. That was an amazing plus that we weren't expecting to have. Also didn't have to wait at all for Peter Pan or for Pirates, which is very fun. I would have also liked to do Haunted Mansion, but there wasn't like a special layover or anything, so again, not really worth it. The treats were a bit of a downside, so because we really wanted to make the most of our time, well, I wanted to make the most of our time, but I wanted to see the parades, I wanted to see the shows, and I wanted to meet those 2 pirate characters. The food kind of fell off the wayside. As I said in the video, we went straight to Cosmic Rays because they were doing a lot of the special food. We went there about 6:30 when we got in, but they weren't selling them just yet, which obviously the party doesn't start till 7, but sometimes they do start doing the food a little earlier, but we were just unlucky that day they weren't. So then by the time it got to 7, we were very caught up in trying to make sure we were doing everything we needed to do, that we literally didn't get a chance to think about food until after we'd watched the parade, which was just before the fireworks. So we just didn't have time to get food, basically. After the fireworks, we went and did a couple of rides, I think, and that's when we got the chocolate twist. But I also, at that point, I was like, okay, I've got a bit of time now. I'm going to queue for the Jack or Sally cake pop, and I queued for 20 minutes for them to tell me that they had sold out. And there was a man just standing there, like obviously guiding people to where to go up to the till, and I was slightly annoyed that he didn't make any announcements to say, maybe every 5 minutes he could have said, just to let you guys know we haven't got any cake pops left, because we queued on one side of the castle, because on the leaflet it said the popcorn stands either side of the castle. I queued there for ages, got to the front, and they were like, no, it's the one on the other side. Queued at the other side for 20 minutes and then they didn't have them. So at that point I was like, I give up. And that's, I think, actually when I went to get the chocolate twist, because I was like, I do need to eat, because I haven't eaten anything and I've literally been running around like a headless chicken trying to get everything done. But yeah, that was the main disappointment, because I didn't really think I would have issues with getting food. We queued for ages to get into the park. I was super confused as to why. I think it was probably the time we got there. We got there about 6, and we probably queued about 20 minutes to half an hour to get in, because loads of people's tickets didn't seem to be working. I don't think they linked them properly, who knows. But in hindsight, I would have wished that we'd got there for when we could have got there at 4, so that we didn't have to do that long queue waiting for the wristbands, and we also could have then got in the queue ready for Jack and Sally or the 7 Dwarfs, and we wouldn't have wasted any party time. We would have got in to meet them as the party started, and then could have spent the rest of the party doing what we did. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. We both needed to rest and nap. We had got up really early that day, and the night before had had a really late night. Realistically, we wouldn't have actually got there at 4 if we wanted to get ready and go to a park that morning, which we did want to do because it was a park day for us. I mean, had someone asleep until 5 minutes before we needed to leave. That would be my only tip, that if you were going, potentially try and not use it as a park day. Rest all morning, get ready, and get there for 4 o'clock when you can get in. And then I think, I obviously don't know, but I think you can then just go somewhere to get your wristband. You don't have to obviously leave the park and come back in to get your wristband. You've already scanned in. So I think that would have been a little better. But yeah, that's really the only things that I would change. It was just so good. The show was amazing. I was really upset that I didn't see Jack. I didn't even realise he was on the stage. Hudson said to me, he was like, yeah, why didn't you film Jack? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, you put your camera down when Jack was on the stage. And I was like, I didn't see him because I just wasn't tall enough to see him, which is a shame, but yeah, never mind. I also thought they were going to be in the parade, but they weren't. And I also thought Max was going to be in the parade and he wasn't. But yeah, obviously things change. I also didn't have time to watch, so we were the 3rd or 4th Halloween party of the year. It was the 2nd Friday one, and I didn't have time to watch anyone's vlogs to make sure that we did it perfectly, basically. I watched Tim Tracker's and Paging Mr. Morrow's, like, jumped through parts of it, but they obviously were going to go multiple times, so they weren't trying to do like everything in the one night, whereas obviously we were trying to do everything. It would be amazing if we could afford to go more than once, because then you could definitely get everything done, but that's a bit of a joke to pay £200 to go to the parties. Like, I think they purposely do that so you can't get everything done. Yeah, all in all, had a great time. I love fancy dress. I loved my outfit. I think the suite's gonna last us a long time. Thought I would post the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party before all of the other vlogs, because this is when it will be most relevant and helpful to people. I do apologise that a lot of it probably does make a lot of sense, and I was super busy running around trying to do everything, so it's not very clear what I'm up to most of the time. But yeah, hopefully my tips and review help people who are going this year and who are thinking of going. I think it's definitely worth it, even though I didn't get to do everything. I knew I realistically wouldn't be able to anyway, so yeah, it was still a super amazing time. Thanks for watching.